Devir Games invited me down to Mexico City to attend MegaXP, their board game convention down there. But before the convention started, we got to go to Devir Fest. Here we are. It's a really cool event that they hold. Anyone can buy tickets and attend before the convention starts. You show up, they celebrate the release of a new game. There's a special custom beer. You see, this year it's for their game Cities, and you hang out, you play games. Here we are actually getting to play Cities. Of course, we've chosen Mexico City to use, and one of the designers, Stephen, is there explaining it to us. In Cities, you are improving a neighborhood. On your turn, you draft the best projects, arrange them in your own playing area. Each round, you place workers to collect one scoring card, one city tile, feature tiles, building pieces, and you stack those buildings, you collect sets of features, and create different areas with your city tiles to meet scoring objectives. It was super fun. Here we are playing Ouch, this cute little card game I'd never played before. Each of these cactus cards has flowers on them, and you want to collect those flowers, but the more flowers on a card, the more likely that touching that card means you're actually going to touch a cactus. You pick up each card very deliberately, putting your fingers on a specific side of the card, and then you flip it over, and if you're touching a cactus, ouch, you drop the card, you don't get to keep it, and it scores you nothing. But then it was time to actually attend MegaXP. The convention itself is a 2-day convention, and the doors open. I love watching a crowd walk into a convention right as soon as it opens. Oh look, and I found Matthew Jude, who also got to attend this convention with me, and here we are making our way in. Bienvenidos, it says welcome. I'm just gonna give you a little tour of what this convention was like. Here we have a kind of artist area. I bought some really cool art from one of these stands. So you can see there's a crowd behind me. They were doing something fun. They were like chanting and cheering and having a really good time. I tried to catch it on camera, but they did not do it while I was standing there, and I felt kind of awkward, like I was spying on them. So then I just walked away. Here we are, more shops. There's Stephen, again designer, Elena from Geek and Pink. We have the Leacocks there, and of course Uncle Sam. What convention is complete without Uncle Sam? Here you can see very briefly an area where they were playing Magic the Gathering. We'll see more of that later. And of course there's the big Lorcana booth and the people who are standing there trying to get their hands on the new set. It looks like they had a lot of cool stuff for Lorcana. And there you see all the hot games tables, the tables where they have popular games set up, and you can go and sit down and check them out. Oh, you know what? Honestly, next time I'm at a convention making a vlog and someone goes running past, I'm gonna follow them. I'm tired of watching them just run past, and I don't know what they're doing. Here is where everyone is playing tabletop RPGs, a cool area set aside for them. And of course, there are tables set up here where people can play miniature games, war games. But conventions aren't just about gaming, they're also about shows and panels. So they have a stage set up, and that was Elena from Geek and Pink doing an interview with Ketty from Playing with Ketty or Jugando con Ketty. And of course, there are giant games. Look, they even have a giant Ouch. And then there was this area I didn't even know about for the first day of the convention. I didn't discover it until the second day. They had this whole medieval section, basically like your own little taste of the Ren Fair. They had this little performance area, which was really cool. And I think you could also do at certain times of day, little like combat with soft swords there at the bottom left of frame. They had people dressed as Vikings. This was a great area to see really cool cosplay. I mean, check that out. This area was full of little artisan goods and crafts and things I really wanted to buy, but I no longer had room in my suitcase for. Speaking of buying, there were lots of shops for buying games. This is the stand for Lego board games, and they have a YouTube channel that has some really fun videos on it. So if you like my style, go check them out. Lego board games, I'll link below. I really liked seeing what was in all of these shops, seeing the Spanish names on a lot of the games, how they get translated, seeing which ones aren't translated, seeing the games that aren't even available in the market I'm normally in that are available here. I really loved it, and it was difficult to not buy a lot of these games. You'll hear me talk later about how I came home with way more games than I normally do from a convention. I checked out this one, NitoGeek.com. Look at these games. I loved these that they had. I wasn't familiar with any of these, but I've been looking them up because, I mean, just check that out, Agents. I love how that looks, like the actual table presence of that game. So I'm gonna go check out more of them, NitoGeek.com. That's where I think they just sell or distribute the games. Here we are now walking back by that Magic the Gathering area and being a little bit silly there on the first day of this convention. Look at all those people playing Magic the Gathering at Showdown Series, an official event there. It's a huge number of people. It was very cool to see. And they also have a Pokemon area. You can actually see a Pikachu there where you could play Pokemon, and they were having Pokemon tournaments in there as well. And you can see everyone's wearing little Pokemon hats that you got just for coming into the convention. And then the end of the tour, as we come through the exit back into the main hall of the convention center. Here we are. I was gonna get some footage of the sign, but someone has actually stopped to say hello. That made me really happy. And now to show you some of the actual games we got to see and demo. This is Wildlife, the card game. I really thought I got more footage of it than this, but it has the most adorable animals. You're set collecting and playing animals into their different environments and trying to build each one up because they score at the end of every round, but you also have cards that can take out other people's animals, and I tell you what, this has some serious take that in it, and we laughed a lot while we were playing it. This is Baseboard. I did not get a chance to properly learn about this game, but look at it. It's from Jalapeno Lab. I'm definitely keeping an eye on it because I need a game with tiny baseball gloves in it. Okay, fest season. This is going to Kickstarter. I think it's going to be very cool. It's all about organizing a music festival, and look how thematic all the different sections of the board are. It really looks like a great point salad kind of Euro game. I've followed it on Kickstarter, so I'll be notified when the project launches. So this is the Puerco Monte booth. They're a company that really encourages using family-friendly games to explore Mexican culture, and I fell in love with everything they have. I actually came home with that Ofrendados game. And here is a really cool miniature setup. Looks like some kind of piratey kind of game. I don't know what it is. I just really thought the table looked awesome. So here's some footage of it. This is Scurvy Dice. It's a couple years old. I don't know much about it. I just really like how this looks. This booth was great too. Guns and Games. I'm not sure I'm saying that right. I actually came home with this piñata game, Dale Piñatazo. I really wanted to come home with some games that felt truly unique to my experience of gaming in Mexico City, and this is one that I felt like really fulfilled that goal. Also, that's saying $599. That is in pesos. And for anyone who is curious, that converts to about $32.50 in US dollars. And this is Dodo's Riding Dinos. Oh my goodness. The art in this game is an absolute delight. So this is a racing game where you have a hand of cards that you can play to do different dexterity type challenges, trying to hit other players to make them lose health or move back on the path.
I hit myself. Do I have to go back too? Oh no!
It was silly and charming, and I loved the small bit of this I got to play, even though I kept damaging my own character instead of my opponent because I'm bad at dexterity. This is Kushi Express. Now, this game was gifted to me, and during a bit of free time, Matthew and I sat down with Matt and Donna Leacock and our friend Eduardo to try playing it. I never thought I'd be playing a silly dexterity speed game with the designer of Pandemic, but here we are. He was actually really good at it too.
Oh my
Pushy.
God. No!
Oh, I hate you. Oh, I'm so close.
So you flip over cards and try to recreate the skewer order on your own skewer, as you can see. You want to be the first one to get it and then shout Kushi to score the card. I had a total blast with this. And my apologies to the people on the other end of this table who are definitely caught right in the center of frame. I didn't realize you would be on camera. Sorry. Okay, I think this is my favorite game that I played at MegaXP, and it was also the very last thing we did right before the convention closed. So this game is Pits, and it's from Jalapeno Lab. It is a thematic abstract strategy game, very chess-like with asymmetric movement, and it's about the Mayan ball game, Pits. And it is a real crunchy puzzle. Matthew and I loved it. Here he's telling me, just let me think. Let me think for a second. And here he's helping me figure out actually what I need to do to score a goal.
Two. Aquí se puede hacer como el 1, 2.
So then this goes boop, boop,
And then you score.
boop, boop.
It was great. We loved this one. I actually came home with a prototype copy of it. I'm really excited to see what this game does. And that's that. This is us walking out of MegaXP at the end of day 2, right at the very end. A lot of things have closed. All the people are going. So we will also say goodbye. Bienvenidos. We'll say the opposite of that because that means welcome. We'll say hasta luego, MegaXP.
Paula,
Matthew.
MegaXP
Yes.
in Mexico City, of
That's
all
right.
places.
That's where we've been, as you've been seeing by watching the vlog. This is a new thing I haven't done in a vlog before, where we actually sit down in front of the camera and talk with our faces about what we thought.
And what did you think?
I loved MegaXP. I want to come back next year.
Yeah, we both want to come back to Mexico next year,
Oh,
pretty bad. And we also want to have learned Spanish by then.
Yes, I would like to know more Spanish.
Yes.
But we got along pretty well.
I feel like we did great.
Spanish. Well, with like a little Spanish. We did have some help. We had some friends
Me gusta.
here who spoke both Spanish and English. He likes it. Had some friends who spoke both Spanish and English, and then some people at the con who will say, "Oh, my English isn't very good, but it's quite good." And for the people that we interacted with who didn't speak any English and we weren't
just
able to
got on
speak
with
much
it.
Spanish, Google Translate is your friend. It helped in many situations.
So as far as the convention goes, what do you think of it compared to other conventions you have been to?
In what way?
In any way that you choose to talk about now?
Why am I the one being put on the spot to answer all these questions?
Because this is your channel.
Well, you're in it too.
Well, I will say that. I think it's got... what I thought about MegaXP is it had everything. And a little bit of everything.
The only thing it didn't really have was much in the way of like an open play
Didn't have
situation.
as much... Yeah, that would have been nice if there was a bit of extra open play.
Yeah.
But there was loads and loads of hot tables to play
Yes.
new games.
Yeah.
There was loads of that.
Yeah, like if you haven't seen these at a convention before, long tables with different like popular games set up at them, and if they were free, you could sit down and you could play them.
And there was lots of opportunities to fully demo games in stalls, which was pretty cool.
Lots of opportunities
Yeah.
to demo games, lots of opportunities to purchase games, lots of shops
There was loads
selling
of shops.
games.
There was an incredible amount of shops.
Yeah, I would
But
say
there was a whole area that was like a mini Ren fair. They were doing like medieval stuff. There was like arty areas. There was Pokemon and Magic the Gathering and Lorcana.
there was an RPG area too,
There's
where
an
people were just
RPG
playing their
area.
tabletop RPGs.
There was a stage for interviews and panels and all that type of stuff. They had kind of everything, like a little bit of everything. And there was a really great place. I think my favorite part of the convention was all the local, like Mexican designers and board game companies who had got their little tables.
Yeah,
who
kind of
were
like your
doing,
indie row.
like doing the indie
right?
row. Like, hey, we're making this game. I'm the designer. This is the artist, and this is the game.
Yeah.
And I was really taken with
We
quite
found
a few of the games
a lot
in there.
of games in that area that we really liked or that looked like really interesting, and I want to check out their Kickstarter. Like a lot of really cool, interesting games because the market in Mexico is kind of new.
Yeah, we had that explained to us
yeah.
a few times that they said, hey, this is board gaming is kind of new to Mexico.
Kind of a new-ish thing here.
And
It's in its baby form,
yeah.
right?
As a market, I mean, there's been people here who've been playing games
Sure.
their entire life, but
now,
as
like,
a market.
board game cafes are starting to open up, and now this was the sixth year, I think, for MegaXP. It's the largest gaming convention in Latin America, and there was just something about the energy of the Mexican designers and publishers that feels so like fresh.
Yeah.
They have like new ideas that they're really like enthusiastic about, because they haven't been beaten down by the realities of they're not like, well, I've been making games for 20 years and I'm tired, and that something about that was really like infectious. I feel like I'm coming home with way too many of those games. I literally, like, we went to look for like another bag like a suitcase to purchase so that I could which I've never done at a convention before.
I would say I feel like just the overarching feeling I've got from MegaXP is just the kindness of everyone that was here.
Yeah.
Everyone's been friendly. Everyone was kind and considerate and tried their best to help with us and our language barrier, and just everyone's been nice. The food's been great.
We've made friends too. Like, it's been so fun to make friends with content creators who are, located, in Mexico or, other Latin American content creators. And, we got to hang out with Matt Leacock, which was really awesome. Steve Finn is so nice. Daryl Andrews is like designers, because a lot of times you don't get to like spend time with designers. We spend time with other content creators, and that was something that was actually really cool for me personally. That was something that was really cool.
Yeah, and some Geek and Pink. Is that
Geek and Pink? Yeah.
They're great.
I'll put up some other things.
I think that I really do think this. Now look, we were brought out to this convention, right?
Yeah. Yes,
So,
Devir invited us to attend because they wanted to show a more international audience, like, hey, this thing exists. It's been going on for 6 years. It's, a couple thousand attendees. Like,
I think if you are in North America, it's absolutely a valid contender for a convention that you should go to.
Especially if you're looking for an excuse to do like a vacation in Mexico. Like, you come to Mexico City, you do the convention, and then you can like go off to either stay in the city, go off to anywhere else nearby. 90 minutes from here, Teotihuacan. I know y'all want to check that out. You're all board game nerds.
And I just feel like it's such a valid. It's 3 hours on the flight for Paula from California. So that's as long as it takes you to get the packs, and the flight wasn't any more expensive than it would for you to get the packs. And
it's actually a little bit longer to get to PAX. Yeah,
and the cost of living once you're here is slightly lower.
Yeah.
Like, I wouldn't say Mexico City is a cheap city by any means. Like,
but the US dollar is worth more, and the pound is worth much more than the peso.
But it's not like going to some countries where you go, wow, my money's going a long way. But it's not like a really cheap destination in my mind. But you'll spend less than if you go to an American convention, I imagine. Especially hotel-wise. I just think it's such a valid place to go. I think if you love conventions and you want to do something a bit different,
you want to experience something a little new.
It's a great convention.
If either you can speak Spanish or you want to challenge yourself to interact in a situation where there might be a bit of a language barrier, knowing that you have tools to help you through that. Everyone was so nice, and like no one time like acted annoyed that there was a language barrier. Everyone was, like so friendly and welcoming, and like I think that if any of this has looked fun or sounds fun to you, you think you're up for a little bit of an adventure. If you think, oh, Essen would be cool, but it's so far away.
Yeah, this is something different.
Check out MegaXP. Like, it is really, really fun, and you're gonna see all the Devir titles. Like,
and a load more, because Devir are like Asmodee of Mexico. Turns out. Who knows? Yeah, I think MegaXP is a bit of a fantastic thing. Me and Paula both would like to come back next year. We probably won't be brought out again next year, but we both are saying we'd both like to be here again.
I would love to come again, yes.
So that's it. If it looks fun, then let us know. And hey, if you end up going, tell Devir.
Tell Devir it's because of us, and maybe they'll invite us again.
True.
And if you have any other questions about the convention
that's a good idea.
Like, let us know in the comments. We'll do our best to try and answer them with our experiences. But hopefully this vlog has given you a bit of an idea of what it would... Thank you.
Well done.
I'm a pro. Yeah, hopefully this vlog has given you a good idea of what it would feel like to attend MegaXP.
Thanks.
All right, thanks for watching this.